And welcome back to a caffeinated conversation with a group, as you can see, of educators from throughout Iowa who are curiously exploring, discovering, connecting around the intersections between entrepreneurship, innovation, and education. Today, we have a special guest joining us from the Kauffman Foundation. Laurie Brown is a leader and a friend. And today we're going to be talking a lot about some of the programs that the Kaufman Foundation offers and just generally how we can reduce the barriers to entrepreneurship. Laurie, how are you feeling this afternoon? It's great to see you.
Hey, good. Thanks for having me, Ben. Ben, thanks for hosting. It's so nice to see all of you and get the opportunity to meet you. So thank you for having me. I'm definitely humbled to be here with all of you and curious to learn from each of you, and excited to share a little bit about Fast Track and 1 Million Cups.
Yeah, we just walked through a friendly introduction portion of our time together, a half hour of updates from all around the state. We've got Simpson College, we've got Vertimo, we've got University of Iowa, we've got University of Northern Iowa, we've got DMAC represented, JPEC represented, Venture School, Global Entrepreneurship Network, 1 Million Cups, and kind of everything else in between, including the Des Moines Partnership with Diana Wright's in the house. So as always, these monthly gatherings have proven to be a neat chance for us to connect and export information from throughout the Iowa ecosystem, but also import knowledge back our way. And so, Laurie, I thought it'd be fun just to kind of fire up the conversation by introducing yourself, your role, how you got here, and a little bit more about the Kaufman Foundation as well.
Yeah, happy to. It sounds like Laurie can help me tell the story of Fast Track right alongside me. So appreciated your introduction earlier, Laurie. Thank you for that. So my role in the Kaufman Foundation. So I sit on the entrepreneurship department. I'm the program manager of entrepreneurial learning and have oversight into the strategy and measurement, impact measurement for Kaufman Fast Track and 1 Million Cups. So I help guide my teams towards developing those programs in service of entrepreneurs. And both of our programs really help serve early stage entrepreneurs. Fast Track focuses on entrepreneurs with a business idea. And 1 Million Cups, we find entrepreneurs in their first 5 years. So those that have a business idea, those that are, already have launched and are looking to somewhat scale their business, and those that have a high aspirations of growth come and present their business idea. Ben, I think part of your question was how I got here. My first exposure point with the Kaufman Foundation was actually in 2017. I worked for an organization was brought on in a consultant role to help create, develop, and launch the eShip Summit in 2017. And so I worked alongside Andy Stoll and a group of incredibly talented and bright people, and got the opportunity to collaborate and help bring those ideas to life in the form of the eShip Summit. So that was my first exposure point. Outside of that, I have a background in product management, program management, entrepreneurship. I've always had a side hustle, running a small business, and until the last couple of years, and have had several director of operations positions. So I like to bring all of that together and use it to help create these two programs and really help serve entrepreneurs. So, and Ben, was there a component of that I missed?
No, I think you caught everything. And
right.
From my personal experience, it is a treat working alongside you. You're a true leader that likes to get things done. And I'm curious, when you think about how you've gotten here and your role working inside of such a remarkable organization like the Kaufman Foundation, it feels like it'd be hard to lean on one thing. But if you had to say how this work is meaningful to you, or what really gets you excited about the work when you think about your roles, what might it be?
So I was actually raised in Omaha, Nebraska, so just over the other side of the border there from some of you. My dad was an entrepreneur. My mom was a teacher. So it actually makes me smile to sit and think, okay, I'm in entrepreneurial learning. There's something kind of poetic about that. My brother's an entrepreneur. And so I really like the entrepreneurial journey, the struggle of an entrepreneur, the desire to, you know, create something that not only creates, you know, financial and personal stability, where individuals can take care of their family and grow, but also, you know, help have an impact on the economy around them, help create jobs, help build community, innovation. I think all of that is incredibly, you know, that is where the passion in this comes from. It's incredibly important. And I'm grateful that I'm in the seat that I am, and I'm humble in the seat that I am, and know that I always have a lot to learn in that. And I try to keep the entrepreneurial spirit inside myself when thinking about the programs that we offer, so that we're always, you know, trying to make them better, trying to make them the best that they can be, so that we can serve entrepreneurs each and every day and meet them where they are in their needs. So.
Very cool. I didn't know the family connection between your parents. What a fun finding. And I guess it's probably a good segue to rewind back to those days. Here's a fun question for you. So, what would you tell your past self as you went through school?
Okay, I would tell myself to have more fun. So I think I would tell myself to have more fun. And I mean that in the sense that so many of life's best lessons come from really allowing yourself to have experiences that take you outside of your comfort zone, putting yourselves in situations where you're around a new and exciting group of people, where you're really listening and learning from others and their expertise. And I would focus more on those moments and that community, and less about the traditional learning.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you for that. And it might be a fun segue to talk a little bit of, you know, fast forward to the state of now, knowing that we have educators who are tuning in, probably curious about what's going on with Fast Track, your role there, and maybe a short introduction as to why it was first developed. And
Yeah.
knowing it's been around for a while, how have you stayed on the edge of something that seems to always be evolving?
Yeah. And some of you may already know this story, but whenever I talk about Kaufman Fast Track, I like to go back and tell a little bit of the story of Mr. Kaufman, our founder. And so forgive me if you already know this, but Mr. Kaufman actually, he grew up very poor, and he grew up in a household where his mother encouraged him to read and really instilled in him the power of learning. And that was how he was raised. And he really believed that education was his ticket out of poverty, and that it really empowered him, and ultimately led to him pursuing entrepreneurship. And so he actually got his start by founding a company called Marion Laboratories, and he founded it in 1950. And I think my favorite part of the story is that he founded it in his basement, and he had $5,000 in capital. And he actually sold it in 1989. And when he sold it, it was over $1 billion enterprise, and he had 3,000 associates. And I think that really tells the story of how our foundation it really came to be, and have the two areas of focus that it has: education and entrepreneurship. I think it's really important to bring that up when we talk about Fast Track, because Fast Track is one of the last remaining programs at the foundation that Mr. Kaufman actually had a hand in starting. So it was started in the 90s, and Ben's right, it has taken several iterations. It sounds like Laurie and perhaps others have had different exposure points into the program. I know that you know, you're a current Fast Track affiliate, Laurie, and I think some of that really helps. You know, obviously things ebb and flow over the last 25 years. Some of you might be familiar with our Fast Track new venture and growth venture products that existed a few years ago. We actually offer those through our Creative Commons license on our website now. And the most recent strategic pivot that was made in Kaufman Fast Track happened in 2017. And that was part of our Zero Barriers initiative in the Kaufman Foundation, where we really sat back and organizationally we said, there is a group of entrepreneurs who don't have access to the things that they need to be successful. And one of the ways that we answered that is by releasing Fast Track to all entrepreneurs through our website in the form of our current Fast Track course. And so right now we have 2 operating modes in the program. The first is that anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur can go on our website and access the Fast Track course curriculum and walk themselves through that course and process their business idea into a launch plan. Or they can take the Fast Track course in a facilitated environment through one of our affiliate partners, where they're able to be mentored through that course. And they're alongside a connected cohort where they're learning and growing and processing their business ideas with a group of people who are in the same position. And so I think those 2 learning modes really help make sure that we're serving a variety of entrepreneurs based on their position and need. I believe that the more people who can have access to entrepreneurial learning, the better. And then they can decide for themselves, okay, is this something that I want to pursue? Or, as I'm sure you all have seen, I think it's incredibly important for entrepreneurs to realize, oh, wait, I'm not ready to pursue this business idea. I need a little bit more time. I need a little bit of additional resource and mentorship, connection, whatever it is, to help me get started. So I think that that's kind of the key evolution. The Fast Track course now starts with Ideate. So really, truly, they're entering into the course with a business idea. And they go through 5 modules. They go through position, commit, refine, and launch, to where at the end, they really, truly have a business plan that they're able to walk away with and feel good about. And I think that we see different styles of learners really react to the ways that we operate it. I've seen actually during COVID, and Ben, forgive me, I'm kind of rambling a little bit here, but we've seen in COVID actually a shift where I say really early stage entrepreneurs typically take Kaufman Fast Track. During COVID, I've actually seen an increase in the number of individuals who are like at the point where they were ready to scale, go back and take Fast Track to really focus on the fundamentals that we offer, and really rework through some of those key elements of their business plan. So I've found that very interesting, and it's kind of a trend that I'll continue to watch and monitor as we move through what I hope is the tail end of this experience.
Yeah, well, you answered one of my next questions, and it was around like what age group or environment, different type of person might benefit the most from the Fast Track experience. To me, it seems like it would be a different answer based off if you were doing it as an individual and kind of self-learning versus something maybe in a facilitated experience. But I'm curious, just kind of expand on that quickly. And then I'm also curious then how many organizations are facilitating the Fast Track program in case people are looking for that opportunity to get involved with others.
Love that. So we actually believe that Fast Track serves all age groups. As we know, there's a population of older adults who really truly are looking for resources to help them start a business. And Fast Track is really perfect for that as well, because they may not feel comfortable in a traditional learning environment. I think ultimately more so than an age group, I look at, okay, who needs access to entrepreneurial education that can't otherwise get it? And I think that Fast Track is a great fit for that. I think it's also a great fit for organizations looking to serve their community with entrepreneurial education. we've seen community colleges, we've seen university environments where they look to offer a community-driven program. Some are even successful in leveraging that as a pipeline into their, traditional learning curriculum. And that works really well from them because they have those folks who are interested in becoming entrepreneurs. They take fast track and then ultimately have a good experience in that learning environment and choose to partake in other courses and other programs. So it's less about their age and more about their desire to become an entrepreneur and their needing access to the training and materials. The other half of your question, how many affiliate partners we have? We have 117 affiliate partners nationwide. And we do accept new affiliate partners at all time. Again, I think I'm probably getting ahead of you, Ben, but I think it's relevant here. We have new affiliate partners apply all the time. The application process is really simple on our website. We do that purposefully. So there's a simple application and there is a $200 fee to become an affiliate because we find that then really people are very committed at that point in time. We have a conversation with the prospective affiliate, really talk them through what their experience is going to be like, the resources and support that they should need and have around them in their organization as they look to offer Kaufman Fast Track. And then once they're onboarded, we have affiliate reps who are individuals who have served as program directors, who have served as course managers and facilitated the course so they can really offer some like on the ground training and mentoring to help you get set up really well. And we also offer, as Laurie mentioned, a facilitator training. And this is a really in-depth course to help individuals who are going to be facilitating Fast Track have the best practices that they need to be able to successfully facilitate a course. And this is really just to, help the individual grow in their facilitation, but also just ensure that anyone going through the Fast Track course has a really amazing experience, so that they can get the maximum out of the commitment, because it is a big commitment. It's typically offered in a 10 to 12 week environment, so virtual right now, but can also be offered in a blended learning environment or an in-person environment. And then there's different assignments that the individual learner experiences over the course of the 10 weeks together.
Very interesting, Laurie. Thanks for the details. I'm curious, when I think about the audience that might be educators, do you find that that's the type of organization that are bringing Fast Track in as part of their curriculum, or is it a majority other types of organizations?
So this is probably going to be surprising, but we have Fast Track affiliates across all sectors. So we have educational institutions that offer Kaufman Fast Track and our affiliate partners. We also have for-profit entities that offer it, and in fact, EY is one of our affiliate partners, Ernst & Young, and H&R Block is one of our affiliate partners. So it really does cross sectors in nonprofit, for-profit, educational institutions, government entities. There's a wide variety. And I really have sat back and thought about what the commonality is, like what's the thread, and it truly is fascinating to me because it draws back to like my passion in this, which is it doesn't matter. All of those organizations have the same goal. They want to help support main street entrepreneurs. Like they want to help business owners be successful. And they see Fast Track as a way to be able to help give them a jump start and access to education to be able to do so.
Very cool. I'm curious how alumni, organizations that are having folks roll through the program of Fast Track, which by the way, we'll include a link in the description so you can take a peek for yourself at this program called Fast Track, presented by the Kauffman Foundation. But thinking about the folks who do go through that, or the people who are ongoing facilitators, are they working together? Is there a network where when I go through fast track, it's like, all right, now I've got some sort of commonality between others who have done this. We can lean on each other. How does the network of fast track participants look?
Participants specifically? Mhm.
I guess I opened with a broad thought and then went to participants, but also just groups that are involved with fast track, a little more broad.
Yeah. Okay. So first thing is kind of a tangent thought, but I'm going to put a video in the chat that I think really helps illustrate the value of fast track and helps like bring it to life in an example. So you all can mute me and watch that in the background. No, but I'll share that in case you're interested and want to watch it later. I think that we see networks at a variety of levels. So when learners go through Kauffman Fast Track in a facilitated learning environment, they have a cohort usually of like 10 to 15 other folks who are wanting to be entrepreneurs go through it with them. I think that group typically bonds together because they have a shared experience and they're troubleshooting together and they're just creating that network. I think it's also really interesting when facilitators effectively leverage guest speakers and bring in subject matter experts into the learning environment, how that changes the dynamic and creates sort of like a mentorship relationship. And sometimes, facilitators are really wise and they bring area entrepreneurs into the conversation in that capacity. So for example, I heard a story of a fast track facilitator who always brings in an accountant who is a local entrepreneur. And that is a subject matter expert when they're talking through some of the financial components and budgeting components. But then that's a resource, somebody who's already started their own business that those learners can go and have a relationship with outside of that course learning environment. Same thing's true with their actual facilitator. Many times those are individuals who are driven by the same passion and want to help the entrepreneur beyond the learning environment. So, I mean, it's unique to the community, like all things, and I think it can be a really special way to create connection. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the things that caught my attention was the opportunity of leaning on each other and knowing that entrepreneurship can be a little bit of a lonely roller coaster. And so whether it's with that class that you're working with in the moment, but also recognizing that you're part of something bigger and tapping into others that might have experienced that, while also exploring ways of blurring the line between classroom and community. Fast Track seems to have an interesting point of leverage, as you mentioned, in those different realms. And when I think about 1 Million Cups, I'm a little biased, but I also really see that as almost like this path that people can take as you kind of activate that entrepreneurial spirit or use entrepreneurship to become an intrapreneur at existing companies, recognizing that there are so many actors within your ecosystem and that there are events that create opportunities to connect in an ongoing way. And so maybe close things down here. We got about 5 minutes or so to finish chatting with Laurie Brown here from the Kaufman Foundation. We've really talked a lot about Fast Track, but it might be a good chance to segue into 1 Million Cups, your role on that side of things, and just share your heart within that caffeinated movement.
Yeah, sounds good. So 1 Million Cups is a volunteer, as some of you, it sounds like, know. Katie, I was excited to hear that you're an organizer. And I think, was it John might have also mentioned he had a role in 1 Million Cups. Ben, you might have to help me out there.
We got some caffeinated blood rolling through quite a few of these folks. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Well, so then you all have lived this, but we're in around 140 communities nationwide. As you know, volunteer-led program, community focused, focus on really getting community together around entrepreneurs that present their business, present the problem they're facing, and look for help and support from their community. Ben, I think you mentioned that the interconnection between Kaufman Fast Track and 1 Million Cups. I think I was so excited to see that on the list, because I think that's an area of opportunity that we have to get better on, quite frankly, between Kaufman Fast Track and 1 Million Cups. I think it's a really exciting opportunity to help usher individuals who get through Kaufman Fast Track and are wanting to launch into a community, so that they don't leave that little fast track cohort and feel like they don't know where to go next. So that's something that I've had my eye on for a little while. And I think it really addresses many of the barriers that we see that entrepreneurs have to getting started. Our barriers report indicates that entrepreneurs say that they need help finding customers, and they need help finding skilled employees and funding and so forth. But when you dig really deep into it, they are looking for networks, they're looking for connections, they're feeling a little sense of self-doubt and fear, and there's loneliness in there, like Ben mentioned. And I think you all probably experience this in your day-to-day, and trying to connect these individuals and help them thrive just as much as we experience in our program. And 1 Million Cups, my favorite thing about it is that it's really the community coming together to help support. And the more that you can bring a variety of community members in and around those individuals, the more diverse the feedback and input, and the more successful it is. So I'll be quiet now and learn from all of you. I'm happy to answer questions, but I'm also happy to hear from you. If there's anything that resonated with you that you just want to share from your experience, I'd love to hear from you all.
Yeah, we've opened it up for a little Q&A here. Thank you, Laurie, for the in-depth conversation around Fast Track and the quick summary around 1 Million Cups, but also how they connect. I think that's a beautiful thing. And looking forward to seeing how both programs can continue to evolve together. So as we bring things out to the group, I'm curious if anyone has questions. It looks like, Michael, you've got a question. I'll go ahead and let you voice that, pal.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Laurie. That was wonderful. I think a fun thought, it would be wonderful if we could if there was online cohorts where in the same classroom, there were K-12 educators, classroom educators, administrators, maybe separate, but in same classrooms with entrepreneurs, and maybe co-taught by a like-minded educator and an entrepreneur, just to talk about how can we add this focus to classroom instruction that's going on every day in every classroom throughout the state or the country. I just wonder if that's happening. I'd love to contribute to that solution if there's interest. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you, we've partnered with Junior Achievement, and we did a week-long emerging entrepreneur program where our student entrepreneurs went into the classroom and taught using curriculum that JA has established specific to entrepreneurship. And that was a great experience. The kids, it was like 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. The faculty, the instructors were in there, but our students, it was a great, connection in the community and a great opportunity for give back. That's how we've done that. Lynn, you've got the Jacobson Institute, right?
Yeah, we do a lot of teacher training in the areas of entrepreneurship, and is also in STEM, where we bring a STEM educator and a business educator together from a district to kind of learn the business model canvas and figure out how to put entrepreneurship or innovation in a classroom. And our curriculum is really customizable. So you could do an hour-long unit, you could do a 6-week intense class, or anywhere in between. So I'll put my email in the chat, and if you reach out, I'm happy to send you a ton of information.
Another thing we did in collaboration with the Jacobson Institute, we did a summer lemonade camp where we had 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders went through the curriculum that was developed by Dawn And then we partnered them with local Main Street businesses. And so those Main Street businesses came in and worked with the marketing and everything. And then on Saturday, the kids actually set up their lemonade stands in front of those business locations. And then all the money that was earned went to a local nonprofit of their choice. So it's just kind of a fun way to introduce kids and get them excited. And we're starting to see some of those kids from years ago now being part of our entrepreneurship program throughout, as they get through the system. And we try to bring people on campus to get them used to coming on campus and that. So those are kind of some fun ways to do it and incorporate it. But I do know the state of Iowa actually, don't they have it in that they want entrepreneurship being taught? Because I know our business education students here at UNI have to take entrepreneurship courses. That's a required course. And I think that's part of Iowa code, isn't it, Ben?
What a drag. I have to take entrepreneurship.
I know.
But I'm glad that it's required, in fact.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure of the specific requirements as of late.
Yeah, I
but
think there's something in the code to include
Okay.
entrepreneurship in K to 12. Mhm.
It's good. Yeah, you speak to some of these younger kids and it just becomes a part of their life. Like
Mhm.
fifth, sixth graders are exploring ways of doing their own YouTube show or to your point,
Podcast.
podcasts and selling
Mhm.
lemonade as the classic
Yeah.
example, right?
Mhm.
But it's become the narrative so much earlier. That's why I think I'm so passionate about the educational conversation, is that I'm almost envious. When I went through college, it was not a part of the conversation. And these days, it's a part of K through 12. Let alone when they go into their work or go to these educational institutions. So being able to foster that spirit and know that whether or not it becomes something where they come out with a degree and a company, or that spirit translates into being an entrepreneur that's pushing innovation within existing companies. The entrepreneurial spirit is valuable in so many different ways, and so I think, the more we can continue to blur the line between the classroom and the community and collaborate together, the more opportunities our students have at exploring what is passionate for them. And in the end, finding things that feel like play, but look like work to others. So Laurie, I appreciate you sharing those examples. Lynn, thanks for jumping on stage to share a couple more. And Michael, I appreciate you bringing up that quick thought. Any other questions from the group?
Ben, I don't have a question, but just really more of a comment or accolade, if you will. I'm very familiar with the Kauffman Foundation and Fast Track and all the amenities, and I just think it's really well put together. And my favorite thing, the curriculum is wonderful, but my favorite thing are the little mini lessons that someone can go in, read some information, watch a video on the how-to of something. Especially the tax section really helped me because I don't know much about that. And I have to teach my students. And I'm like, I hope you don't get audited. So being able to implement that into my classroom and help the students with that is so very clear. It's easy to understand. And, a lot of those resources and the articles are amazing. So I just think the whole setup in the program is really great. So, kudos to you.
Oh, thanks, Rhonda. Those are nice words.
That's so nice to hear. Lori and Rhonda, I'll be sending you your gift card in the mail after this. Thank you for your
Yes.
Speaking of gift
I'm
cards,
just
Diana.
kidding. No, but I do love
go
the
ahead.
feedback, both like negative and positive, because it's how we, help make sure the good things stay good and improve where we need to. So it's wonderful.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, this has been another caffeinated conversation with educators interested in this intersection between entrepreneurship, innovation, and education. Laurie, it's been a treat. We get to collaborate so often that it's not every day we get a chance to share a conversation like this amongst friends. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate all that Kauffman Foundation does to reduce barriers, if not eliminate barriers for entrepreneurship all around the country. As we close things up, you probably knew it was coming, but I wanted to create some space for you to share any closing thoughts, any inspired wisdom to pass along to the group as we close things down today?
I don't know that I have any wisdom. I more just would say that, you know, with all the challenges and struggles that entrepreneurs have had over the course of the last year, 2 years, going on 2 years, I think how when you're in service of that, you can really feel that as like a residual impact. And I think I would just offer a word of encouragement and gratitude even of the work that you do to help continue to educate and support and build community around entrepreneurs, and just say keep doing it, because it matters. And I'm just really grateful to be able to be here today and to be able to make connections with each of you and learn from each of you. And I appreciate you having me.